Hey everybody, I'm Live's Nick Baumgartner here from Chrysler Center with Brendan Quinn. 61-56, Michigan gets a giant win over Purdue. Enough, maybe, to get them, if they don't, kind of blow it against Northwestern. I don't know if that's enough to get you in, but it's enough to get it real close.
I think it eases a lot of tension. I think it eases tension both on the NCAA tournament resume, but more so probably between the years in that locker room with this group
After
saying
last week, yeah, geez.
When the head coach gets up and says we can't beat teams without making, outgunning them from three-point distance. They went 5 for 20 today.
Yeah.
Played tough defense, out-rebounded Purdue, which is absurd.
It's never gonna happen again.
Outscored them in the paint
too, yeah.
and just they worked their tails off, and they got a win that they deserved, and they showed a side that I have not seen in a long time, and they closed on an 11-0 run. Zach Irvin made big plays. Derek Walton Jr. made game-winning plays at the point guard position. It was big. They needed it. They got Karis LeVert back on the floor. This was a win-win-win all the way through for Michigan.
We'll get to Karis in a second, but you mentioned the sort of toughness, and obviously we haven't seen that stretch. 3:38 to go. Mark Donnell gets his fourth foul. He has to go out of the game. Ricky Doyle comes in. Purdue doesn't score again. When Donnell goes out of the game, you're thinking this is going to be curtains here.
Yeah.
But 6 straight stops. That has to be the best defense they played all season, and maybe in like 2 years.
Yeah, and some of it was Purdue. Purdue missed some bunnies.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Purdue missed plenty of shots that it usually makes. But credit where it's due, that's also partially due to 40 minutes of being defended, the way that they were being defended. Mark Donnell was a warhorse in there against all odds. I mean, A.J. Hammonds and Isaac Haas are, they are superheroes down there. Isaac Haas is the biggest center in the league, and A.J. Hammonds is the best center in the league. And Donnell went down there, and he went hip to hip, and he banged with them all day. He had 8 points. Like the stats didn't really show it. But I think those guys, some of those bunnies that were missed can be credited back to that. I really think that's a real thing.
Now, Karis LeVert plays 11 minutes in the first half. Beeline had said when he was coming back, the plan was to play him 10 to 15 minutes. He didn't play at all in the second. It says he's out of shape. I guess we'll have to wait and see how quickly he can get back in shape. But all things considered, he's back, which is obviously
in terms of just what you saw on the court. There were a few times where he did dribble into the interior of the Purdue defense and gave Michigan something that it doesn't really have a lot of. And that's a guy who can bust into the middle, collapse defenses. And if Karis LeVert is at full strength today and goes his normal 35 minutes, Duncan Robinson probably gets a couple of open threes today. Duncan Robinson couldn't get air to breathe, let alone an open shot.
Hasn't in a long time.
Well, yeah, and not against Purdue. They really just are able to lock him down because they're so good defensively that they don't have to help off of guys. Right. They can just play straight up all the way on all 5 positions. And when you can do that, you can have a guy just on Duncan Robinson. But that's beside the point. What Karis can do is really just free things up for guys, and I think he did that a little bit today. He had 5 rebounds in 11 minutes. I mean, he was active. He didn't look timid.
No.
I didn't think
he was favoring his foot.
Somebody
said they thought he was. I didn't think he was.
He didn't look ready to start jacking shots, but I didn't see any hesitation. And he still played defense. It was good. It was good to get out there and break a sweat. And give them a boost. Zach Irvin really said that. He said that's a real thing. It wasn't. They felt good.
Because he was there.
To get him back on the court, and they kind of felt probably a little bit more like themselves.
Yeah, right. And I guess we'll see how much he plays at Ohio State. That's Tuesday, right?
Tuesday night.
At Ohio State on Tuesday night. Then my schedule's off here. Is it Northwestern here on next Saturday?
Sounds right to me.
Okay. So Ohio State, Northwestern next week.
Double check that before buying your tickets, folks.
You sweep those two. I think that, and if we're just going to be real honest here, if you sweep those two, you win at Ohio State, you beat Northwestern, you're in the NCAA tournament. That's my
100%.
I think there's no question about it.
They'd be at 21 wins.
Yes, there's no doubt. Right now they're 19-7, 9-4 in the league. They have a better record than Purdue and Michigan State in the Big Ten. Win these next 2, I think you're in.
11 Big Ten wins. I don't care how you get them. You're in. You're fine. Go win a game in Indianapolis. Make sure you seal it up and get yourself an 8 seed. The question is how much of this can carry over.
Yeah.
Could they maybe go steal another game? They got Iowa here on their home court in the last game of the year. That's a seed line game for this team. And we'll see what happens.
Right now, just worry about getting in and worry about the rest later.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't lose to Northwestern and things like that.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff that can still happen. Ohio State's given some teams some trouble this year. They're not very good, but they can be a pain in the butt.
Right. Well, we said last week, standing here on Saturday, that by next Saturday we'll know if the season's over or they're going to keep fighting. So far, they've kept fighting. So until the next one, for Brendan, I'm Nick. We'll talk to you guys later.